Apple is well known for going against the grain, but now reports say the tech giant will do something its competitors have been doing for years. iPhone users will be able to give up their old phones and get credit towards a new one. CNET senior editor Dan Ackerman is here with that story. So, Dan, how does it work?
Well, the way it works for the Apple program is a little bit different than the way Amazon or Gazelle or other companies have been doing this for years. With this, you actually are going to have to go into an Apple store, and they'll probably launch this around the end of the month and really ramp it up around mid-September. And you'll say to the guy, oh, I want to trade in my iPhone and get a new one. So he'll look at your phone, they'll do some testing on it to make sure it's in working condition, and they'll look up on a list they have and give you a price for it. And if you say okay, they'll take your old phone, give you a new phone, and give you an Apple gift card for whatever that amount is to take off the price of your new phone, and then you walk out of the store, you've already got your new phone.
And that applies to any phone you have?
Well, an iPhone.
No, any old iPhone that I have.
Not the earliest ones, like the 5s and the 4s, maybe the 3G.
Okay. But Dan, as you point out, other companies have been doing this for a while. Now, why is Apple kind of late to the party here?
Well, I feel like this is the kind of thing where consumers have been able to get a little bit of a deal for a while if they knew their phones had some value. And I think Apple saw that. A lot of people were figuring out that they could resell their old phones, and they don't want other companies sort of controlling this secondary market in iPhones. They want to have their hands in it because they're very interested in sort of controlling everything about their products. They said we can provide the same service for our customers and keep them in the Apple store, so that's good for them.
Is Apple offering a better deal, do you think?
You know, I looked at some prices on some other websites yesterday, and I looked at what people were saying Apple is going to be offering. It looks like Apple will be offering a little bit less for the phones. You could probably get $300, a little bit more from some of these other sites for last year's iPhone. I hear that Apple's probably going to give you about $250 for that.
And a lot of people don't even buy their iPhone at the Apple store. So how big of a deal is it for the Apple company to do?
Well, that's why they want to get you into that store and keep that retail circuit going there, because people get their phones through their phone carriers like AT&T or Verizon or from Amazon, or just by going into one of the 50 million cell phone stores we have here in New York. So Apple would love you to go into their store and buy the phone.
But your advice would be to shop around.
I think you should take your phone, go to Gazelle, go to Amazon, even go to Apple, and check out the price from each of them for your phone and its condition, and obviously go with the most money.
On September 10th, Apple's going to announce the next iPhone, we think?
That is what we think.
How big a deal is that?
I think it's going to be a small step compared to last year's pretty big leap with that iPhone 5. You'll see a better processor, maybe some camera improvements. There's been some talk of a less expensive, more plasticky iPhone, but we're not really sure where the price of that is going to sit. The nice thing is we're seeing a lot of leaked photos of this stuff, so there aren't going to be as many surprises.
All right, Dan Ackerman, always good to see you.
Thanks.